What role does collaboration play in your creative process, and how do you approach working with others? I mean, I love working with other people, but I think I prefer working on my own in certain instances. And with the general store stuff, I quite like it being a personal thing. Now, Mountain Rescue, which was the second general store album, was produced by Paul Reeve, and he's someone that I really love collaborating with, because he's just as you might call a safe pair of hands. He's got an excellent bedside manner, and if things are kind of going wrong in the studio, or if you're struggling with a vocal performance or whatever it is, he's just brilliant at calming things down and helping you get through it. And obviously there's other musicians I love working with too, like on the same album, having Jew and Pete and Casey and Nick and everyone else that was involved in that record. It just made it into a much, fuller sounding record. To me, it sounds more like a real record, whereas Local Honey, to me, is kind of missing a bit of that, because it's all me doing it. It loses that sort of that fullness. I think that's just my opinion. I mean, I'm proud of how that turned out, but I do think, I know Mountain Rescue is a much better sounding record, and I think it's just got a wider scope to it in terms of how it sounds and how it feels. So there you go. How do you balance the creative and technical aspects of music production? I mean, I love the creative process. I love trying different things out, but I find I'm having to split my brain into two in order to be the recording engineer and the artiste, the performer. And it knackers me out, actually. And as a result, I probably don't do as much recording as I really would like to do, because I just get so tired by it, just because it takes so long just to sort of get things set up. Who are your biggest musical influences, and how have they shaped your own sound? In terms of the general store, I would say, Neil Young, Joni Mitchell, the Eagles to an extent. Maybe there's a bit of Fleetwood Mac in there, definitely a lot of Elton John in there. The Beatles, tons of Beatles in there. A lot of sort of classic rock of the sort of West Coast Americana persuasion. The Byrds, another one. Did I mention the Beach Boys? A massive influence, particularly this sort of late 60s, early 70s period, this sort of era of Sunflower and Surf's Up. I think Surf's Up is probably my favourite Beach Boys album. Carl and the Passions, Holland, just fantastic records, but I really loved that period of them. So yeah, New Riders of the Purple Sage, that's another one. So there's loads from that era that kind of fall into that category. And I'm talking about bands and artists that have specifically inspired the general store. But also there's a whole wave of alternative country bands as well that I was introduced to by my flatmate Dave Morrison, who had a massive record collection. And he got me into bands like The Handsome Family, Lamb Chop. Kingsbury Manx is another band that really was a huge influence on definitely the first general store record. The Flaming Lips and Grandaddy. Who else? Shaq, the Lars. Yeah, I mean, it just goes on and on. Just great songwriting, really. Don't you ever